Hey, it's LT, Bands and Clubs in the Triangle, Facebook and Instagram, and our new website. Oh, been up 6 months. It's hardly new. It's lovelocalmusicwith.us. And so privileged today to be with Robert Cellucci. And thank you for
nice
coming.
To be here.
Hey, y'all. I like it. I like it. We're about to have a good time. And after this, we may dive into, yes, that chocolate cake. And right now it's ice water.
Ice water.
We've got chocolate cake and cold glass of milk coming up.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Here we are with an interview and some introduction to Robert Cellucci. Our page are just numerous. He does a great job on Facebook, getting his message out there, getting his music out there, and so that you and I can be a Robert Cellucci fan. Thank you for all you do. But you're in our backyard, and what a nice way to follow up. I think we were talking a couple of weeks ago, got to interview Justin West.
Yes, I've actually been following Justin West. Never met him personally, but
Right.
I do enjoy his music. He seems like he's doing a great job marketing himself and getting his name out there. But
Right, we talked about that, and you said, yeah, LT, I've been following him for years or a couple of years, and from Coates, North Carolina. That interview is done, and you can see it on the website. And we've been sharing that over to Facebook too. Local, Justin West out of Coates, North Carolina, but 25,000 followers. I've only got 5,000. And
I've got less than that. You're beating me out.
That's right.
Gosh,
and I don't
man.
sing, though. I'm a promoter. I love local music, but we're about 5,000 plus followers, and glad that we're there with your help, following our pages.
Thank you.
Yeah, and our website, but a lot going on. Well, let's get started. And first of all, Robert, where are you from? What are your roots? And I heard we were talking before the video. Tracy TL went to high school in Raleigh, and you had high school too.
I went to high school in Middle Creek High School. I graduated 2006, but I was born in Florida. So I've got a home in Florida as well. I was born in Dunedin, Florida. Left there when I was about 2. Traveled all over the state of North Carolina growing up. But landed at Middle Creek High School, where I found a home in Holly Springs, and graduated 2006. Went off to college from there and got into music.
Right.
Ran into different things. We don't have to make a long story so short, but
what was the birth again in college? Learning how to play the guitar or singing, and how did some of that come together?
Well,
we'll take
the
the
whole
short,
chorus
but...
and the singing part came together when I went to Middle Creek. I was in chorus there.
Okay.
Started there as an elective class and got heavily involved. Started doing the musical theater for Middle Creek High School, as well as got into a barbershop quartet with a few guys, and we did really well. From high school, from music, I got drafted to do North Carolina off-Broadway shows for North Carolina Theater from high school. So that was a great opportunity. But the guitar, picking up the guitar, I'd have to give props to a good friend of mine, LJ Lane, who had a guitar as one of my really good friends growing up. And he was playing guitar, and that's where really me and the guitar became friends because of him playing it and helping me learn how to play it. So appreciate that, LJ. Thank you, man.
Well, plus there, good opportunity to say thank you.
Yeah.
We've recently, you were on a lot of the local country artists. That's why the show exists. But QDR, Hometown Country.
Yeah, Jason Adamo is the host for that show.
That's right.
I met him a few months back, and submitted my music to him and everything, and they obviously liked it and started airing some of my music on QDR.
We are so privileged with our friendship to Jason Adamo.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Thank you.
Robert, you know me already, and I can chop a name up, but I think I'm doing pretty good with Robert Cellucci. But there's another example. I chopped Jason Adamo name up, if not months, years before I got it, and I'm like, now how did I go wrong with that? But Jason Adamo and Robert Cellucci,
great guy, great music.
It can happen, and you were telling the story about that.
Yeah,
but names can be horrible for me. But yes, what a good experience, and in our backyard, a great radio station, QDR Country.
A lot of great talent from North Carolina's heard on that station.
That's
and
right.
Jason Adamo and the QDR crew are doing a great job of identifying local artists right here.
And part of a local group, Curtis Media Broadcasting out of Raleigh, North Carolina, owns stations all across the state of North Carolina, but right here out of Raleigh, the Triangle. And QDR is a good example of, certainly they want to keep it local, and they're liking great musicians, artists like Robert Cellucci. Hey, who is your superstar in music?
Oh man! Every time somebody asks me this question, it always throws them off. Usher was my biggest idol, and probably will always be one of my biggest idols when it comes to music. I loved that he was not only a great vocalist but a performer, which I loved, and that's really where I honed in on music. Now I know that I'm country, and you're not singing hip hop or pop or anything like that, but yeah, he was a great idol for me.
Do you enjoy all genres, or certainly country?
All genres. I mean, country. If you want to know how I got into country, I'd have to blame my mom for this one. I'd be at home, I was staying at home, and this is when I first picked up the guitar and was really getting into music. And what I found was a passion for me at the time was alternative music, like The Fray, Cartel, Jack's Mannequin. Loved their music. OAR. So when I go home, I'd be at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Granted, I should be sleeping, but I'm up playing my guitar. And
right.
My mom's trying to sleep and has to work the next morning. She'll come out. She'll be like, "Son, you've got to stop singing." And she'll yell at me and tell me to go to bed, and because I'm belting out songs. And it wasn't until about 3 weeks later, or give or take, my friend said, "Rob, you should try country." So I got into singing country music. So same scenario, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm out there singing country music. My mom comes out, she's like, "Son, don't stop playing. I'm inviting Linda over. We're about to have a party." So, Mom, I appreciate you helping me, convince me to getting into country.
Right.
We grew up on farms my entire life.
Okay.
I grew up with horses, so it was just natural for me to be in the farm life of things.
Okay.
But my mom was the big pressure for me to get into country music. So.
All right, excellent. Good for Mom. Hey, you are a full-time musician in the Triangle.
Absolutely.
It is your passion. It is 24/7. Has it been that way for a few years, or as far as
for the past 2 years? It has
past 2
been.
years.
It's been a full-time thing for me. Shout out to Moss Nissan, Newport Richey, Florida, as well. That was my work life before getting into music. And
Nissan,
Nissan. But Moss they're taking over a huge ground. You got Moss Acura, Moss Chevrolet, and you got Moss Nissan. So there's
like Leaf.
So he's doing a great job. But that was my family work life. Before I was able to make the transition to music full-time.
What did you do?
I was a salesman. I sold cars.
Okay.
So I mean, even if you wanted, we can go to a dealership down the street. I'm sure they wouldn't mind if I showed you a few cars.
That's right.
Still fresh in my mind.
I may need your services.
Anybody need a new car? Go to Moss Nissan, Newport Richey, Florida.
Keep it low. All right, but yes. So full time and 24/7, and does it from back office stuff to singing and gigs? It just I know it can, but it occupies your time.
It does. I mean, not only focusing on managing up, setting up new shows, or if it's going to be just a solo night for me, or if I'm including the band. Since I've been here in the past year, I've formulated a whole band to come out and perform with me, which I'm grateful and blessed to have these guys come do that. But I'm also juggling the personal life. I have the kids, and my daughter's 4, my son's 10.
Okay,
so there's the family life of things as well.
Yes,
but I think the main thing, LT, to answer that question is, I'm passionate about this career field, and I just put 120% into it all the time.
Right.
And it's adjust my life around it.
Well, I guess I probably should have an opinion for all I do, but I guess or say that probably 15%, only 15%, 17% of the Triangle as far as musicians probably are full-time, 24 hours a day, the only thing, or maybe they do a little bit of trickle here for some income, but so many of us are enjoying it. Full-time jobs, or having to do full-time jobs during the week.
Yes.
And then our musicians, our bands are gigging on the weekend. And many of them are gigging maybe a Thursday night, a Friday night, a Saturday, or a Sunday afternoon. And everybody's been busy, right? And it is quite a routine for those that are doing it as double duty, but even more of a duty and calling and passion that you're trying to pay bills and to do it all under the performing as a musician or a band. You just released a CD. In fact,
I did.
We were talking of it. We were hearing it. 5 songs, right? Get that water. You released a CD.
The Life of a Singer.
Right.
Water's always good for you.
Yeah. The title song on the CD.
There's no title song on this CD.
Okay.
It's more or less an EP. Full albums normally have about 8 to 12 songs on them. This CD only has 5. But I wanted to give my fan base and people that come to my shows and are there to come out and support me something to take home with them. So I wanted to get all my new releases from 2019 on a CD based in order to
Right.
be able to have that on my merch side of things, be able to sell it at shows and everything too. LT, one thing about musicians in the life of musicians, we have to make money. So having merch and t-shirts and
Merchandise,
hats
yeah.
and CDs and things like that, it's always good for an artist. And if you support that artist, it's always good to pick up some of their merch because all that stuff usually goes back into getting them to the next level or to the next step or keep
We're
them
all
going.
building our brand, right?
Right, right.
Doing it as a promoter, doing it as a non-profit, love local music,
Yep.
and that stuff helps. It helps pay some expenses. It helps us move along. We're trying to get in the trinket business. We're trying to have buttons. We're trying to have bracelets and all that we're doing,
Merch
right?
is always
right?
good. But
And
back to what you're saying about the CD, like all my new releases from 2019 are on there. One that has gotten me so much success since I released it is Getting Over You. That song is on there. I was so blessed and honored to go to Nashville to record that thing at the Parlor Production Studios in Nashville. Everybody knows Garth Brooks, so his lead guitar player Chris Lusinger is playing on that track with me, as well as John Marcus, which toured with Tim McGraw, on tour for 20 years. So I was very blessed and honored to be able to go to Nashville, record
Right.
this, but also meet some really renowned people in the country music scene. So
Right.
that was really great. Magnetic, both them same players are on the song Magnetic as well. Magnetic, what's so special about that song is it's not just wrote by me, and being in the industry for 2 years, there's only so much that comes to my mind that I could write about. So we always look for songwriters.
Right.
So Corey Lee Barker won the ICMA awards this past award ceremony for Songwriter of the Year. So I'm very blessed and honored to have Corey Lee Barker help me with co-writing that song as well as with Philip Wolf.
Wow, what great
which are-
connections. What great connections. And that happens
Yeah,
and takes hard
yeah.
work too. Just
Yeah.
trying to build those connections. That song, Getting Over You, I think where we would part 1 and we do a part 2. We're about ready, a little over as seeing the clock. But part 1 right here, it'll go to our website first, lovelocalmusicwith.us. And then we'll share it to the Facebook pages and so forth. But that song, Getting Over You, I think Robert in part 2 is going to bless us with.
Will I?
Well, I think you will. Brought the guitar, Tracy.
we will.
If it's still, Tracy knocked it over a couple times. But you have the guitar tonight. We're looking forward to that blessing. But let's go ahead and end right here. Maybe we'll nibble on a chocolate cake and that milk
Yes.
to get a flavor. Maybe we'll do
Yes.
that. Do that right now.